some people commented that I'm being scammed by my naturopath. Like if I actually had that, I'd be really, really sick and I wouldn't be here. So that made me a bit skeptical, but I...
Sourdough breadcrumb in me, girl. You give me what you want and then you stop before I fall. Now you make my stomach spin and swirl. You fill me up with wondering when I'll be.
So my naturopath, I'm going to the naturopath today, and my naturopath said that I should have low amounts of gluten, and she said rye bread was okay, although it has gluten in it, like it has wheat, it's made from wheat, but she said spelt flour and rye bread is fine. Rye's not bad. I prefer wholemeal over dark rye, but I'll take whatever I can.
Your crumbs are better than home.
I'm gonna curl my hair because I'm not going to be wearing makeup today because I want my naturopath to see how my skin's doing. If I'm not wearing makeup, I thought I'd just curl my hair a bit to look a bit more decent.
Home bakery, preferably. I trade a fee daily to taste you, please.
Okay, it's actually been a week since I filmed the first part of the video. So I ended up getting a call after that saying they had to reschedule my appointment because something had come up. So it's been postponed for a week, and yeah, I'm about to head off. So it's been 5 weeks since my first session. I was supposed to go back after 4 weeks, but since it's been postponed, it's been 5 weeks now, and I posted my experience and my thoughts around it and what we went through from my first session on YouTube and my other socials. And some people commented that I'm being scammed by my naturopath because I went through how she mentioned that I have a fungal overgrowth in my bloodstream, and she showed me the black spots in my bloodstream and she told me that they were fungal growth, and I believed her. So before I did any research, I just shared it with you guys, and especially on my Instagram, a few people were like, that's not possible. Like if I did have fungal overgrowth in my bloodstream, I'll be seriously ill and I would be in hospital. So I did a little bit of digging after I saw a few comments like that, and they were true. Like if I actually had that, I'd be really, really sick and I wouldn't be here. So that made me a bit skeptical, but I had to check with her. But I know she definitely said that they were fungus. So I really want to clarify that with her today and ask her what they are first, and then see what she says, and I'll just go in and say, look, I did a bit of research and this is what it seems to be. Since we're doing another blood analysis, like every session we're meant to do a blood analysis to compare what they look like now versus the last session. So if she mentions something around that again, I'll ask her like what she really means by that. But I'll definitely bring that question up with her. I have a bunch of questions. I've got a notebook with me today because last time I didn't, and there was just so much information to process and remember, and I just wished that I had brought in a notebook to write down everything because I didn't want to be on my phone, facing her and just like writing stuff down on my phone. Seems a bit rude. So I tried to remember everything, but I couldn't. So this time I have my notebook and my pen, and I wrote down a bunch of questions to ask her. I'm just going to go through them with you guys first. So about my previous session, she mentioned that I had certain deficiencies, and she saw that on my tongue and my nails, and I know one of them was like magnesium deficiency, but I can't remember for sure. So I want to write that down and what links to what deficiency, like what symptom, because that's pretty informative. And yeah, ask to clarify the fungus overgrowth, and also run through each supplement again and the dosage and what each supplement was for, because there was just like a whole list and I couldn't remember all of them. So that was about my previous consult, and another set of questions about my skin and how I have like the red undertone on my face. I don't know if you can see it here, but without makeup you can see like a pink reddish undertone, and I didn't have this when I was on topical steroids. So I feel like it's an inflammatory thing, and I want to ask her what causes that and how we can go about fixing that. And also the rashes I get after I sweat and after I swim in the ocean on my face and my neck. I posted a shorts video on here about it and also on my other socials, but I get really like angry rashes on my face and my neck after I sweat and after I swim. So I just want to ask her what that might be caused by and how we can go about fixing it. And then now onto my diet. I have a list of foods that I want to ask if I can eat. So they're cottage cheese and ricotta cheese. She mentioned no dairy, so I haven't been having any cheese, but there's like so many different types of cheese out there, and I want to ask in particular, what is it about cheese and also eggs I'm not allowed to have are so bad for me that I can't have it. And I think knowing that reason and that mechanism behind it will help me figure out what foods I can eat and what I can't, even if they're not on the sheet of paper that she gave me. So yeah, that's what I want to ask. It's difficult with like healthy foods because all the foods that are deemed healthy it's such a vague terminology, because what is healthy, and everybody's body is different and people are dealing with different circumstances and all these different diseases. So what might be good for one person might not be good for another. Like for example, if someone has a kidney disease, they can't have potassium, which are in bananas. So a banana wouldn't be good for them, but it would be good for me, that sort of thing. So I just want to know why cheese and eggs are not good for me in particular. And yeah, I forgot to mention, I have swollen fingers at the moment. It's really bad. Here you can see the internal bleeding on my pinky, and where is it? Oh, on this side as well. Here. It's happened before. I looked back through my photos and it said it was about 8 months ago, but I don't know what's causing this. And the last time it happened, I went to the GP and they gave me antibiotics, and I took them and it didn't do anything. So it's not a bacterial infection, and it just happens randomly. I don't know what's causing it. And last time I mentioned that I had these, everyone was like, oh, it's your nails, it's because you keep getting them done. But I got these done about 6 weeks ago, my nails, and my fingers started swelling up like a week ago. So I don't think there's a linkage between those two, and I always have my nails done, and I only get this once in a while. Like I said, the last time I had it was 8 months ago, and I've been doing my nails for the past 8 months and I've been fine. And yeah, it's just, I don't think there's a link to it. But I also want to ask her about these and what I can do, because they're painful, especially the bits where there's internal bleeding and I can't bend my fingers. Luckily I'm left-handed, so writing and eating is completely fine, but for some reason I use my right hand a lot for like opening jars and a lot of everyday things like holding the knife. So I haven't been able to do any of that, so my partner's been doing that. But yeah, this is like my 3rd time getting it, and the very first time I got it, it actually lasted for like a month, and I did not expect that to last that long, which sucks. But the second time I had it for like a few days, and I was scared that it was going to last a lot longer that time, because obviously like the time before that it lasted a month, so I thought it was happening again, but then it calmed down in like a few days, and then this time it's lasting a week so far. So I'm just worried that it's gonna take a long time to heal like the first time I got it. It is the next day. I got home yesterday and I just had a lot of uni stuff to do, and we also had this leak in our water system, and we found that out because our water bill was insanely high. It was like 6 times our usual rate. So we were like, something's wrong, there must be like a leak because we haven't used that much water. It's impossible to have used it 6 times our usual usage. So we checked it out and we found out there was a leak in one of the pipes. So we had to get all that, you know, fixed, and it was a whole lot of things to do. So I didn't get around filming after I got home, but I am back now with you guys to talk through how my session went yesterday. And I just woke up, so I'm just going to do my skincare. Since we have the leakage in the pipes, if we have the main water system on, there's constantly a leak happening, and that's just gonna rise our water bill up constantly. So we don't want that, and until the plumber is here to fix it, we've been turning off the main bulb. So every time we have to use water, we go outside and turn it on, use it, and once we're finished, we turn that main thing off. I just hope it gets fixed soon. Oh, this is what I used just now. And my finger's still swollen, so I can't use my fingertips. This hand's fine, but this is the swollen hand. And the internal bleeding on my pinky and this finger here is getting worse, and it hurts so much.
Of desperation, but it ain't gonna make me too much longer. Been working too hard for this shit to not pop, so we about to get it poppin' now. Playing life of desperation, so I'ma have to live a little louder. And no, I ain't gonna end up like the man trying to figure out.
I'll link everything I'm using down below. And I've got a different set of supplements that I bought yesterday based on what we saw in the new blood analysis that I did yesterday. So I'll go through that with you guys today. So I've got a few supplements that I have to take in the morning. So this is the one that I've been taking for the past 5 weeks, and this as well. But I've run out of this, and okay, we'll talk about that later. Because, yeah, never mind. We'll talk about it later. I've also got this and this one. These two are meant to be taken together apparently. So that's that. And also these. So this is the one that I was taking for the past 5 weeks. But I ran out, and I got the same formula but in a different, I guess, way of consuming it, and this goes up your bum. So we'll talk about that later. This is my usual drink bottle. It's like 1.2 liters, and so I'm meant to have 30 drops of this AM and PM, and then these I'm meant to add 2 to 10 drops each day in my water bottle. So she said to start off with 2 drops each and then work my way up to 10 drops. And yesterday when I came home, I added the 2 drops each into my water bottle, and these, so they're both homeopathic medicine, and the lymphomyosat is for draining my lymphatic system, I think, and just like moving my lymph around my body. And this is for supporting my liver. No, we'll go through my notes later on, but she said that if I'm taking this, I have to take this for support or something. But this is a laxative, so that's why she mentioned to start with 2 drops instead of 10. When I started drinking the water yesterday with the drops in them, I literally had like 1.2 liters worth of water and only 2 drops each of those. But I started feeling a bit nauseous, like it felt weird, but since it was like right after I had a sip of this water, I was like, oh, surely it can't be that effective, like right after, like less than 5 minutes after taking that sip. But then I kept drinking it and I became more like, it felt weird in my stomach, so I stopped drinking it for the rest of the night. But I think I'm gonna slowly have this today, and if it makes me feel like that again, I'm just gonna have regular water, but we'll see how I go. Oh, I've got another one in the fridge. This is a probiotic that I meant to take 2 capsules daily before food, so I'm gonna have that right now. Okay, I'm just trying to wrap my head around what I'm supposed to take now versus throughout the day and at night. Yeah, and this I'm meant to take 1 capsule after food daily, so just 1 capsule per day. And these are all homeopathic medicine, and this one is for targeting the yeast. My fingers are swollen and they hurt so much doing everyday things, so I have to use these 2 fingers. And I can't open bottles and jars with this hand, and this is the hand that I usually open them with. I'm left-handed, but I don't know, like things like these I always use my right hand for some reason, and I don't have the same strength on my left hand as my right, so it's just harder to do these things. Oh my goodness. Okay, 2 capsules before food. I'm gonna have yogurt for breakfast. I'm gonna add in some strawberry jam. This has no added sugar in it, and obviously there's natural sugar in this, but I don't count these as sugar, because if you start doing that, then I literally can't have anything, because sugar's in almost everything, like carbohydrates and in vegetables and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't count those naturally occurring sugars. So if you haven't watched my video talking about my first experience going to the naturopath, she mentioned that I have to swap my regular sugar with natural sweeteners, and I've been using monk fruit sweetener. I got this new camera recently and I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, there it is. Is that good? I've been having the light version of this yogurt instead of the full cream, because I'm in a calorie deficit to lose a bit of weight before my wedding. Add some frozen blueberries in there. Things like these, you realize how much you've been taking advantage of your functional hands, functional body. Anything is so hard to do with these hands, I should say.
It's pretty clear to me, you're serious. You play games, it's fucked up. You're waiting for my heart to get wise.
So, one sec, I'll grab my notebook. We did the blood analysis again. So she pricked my finger and we looked at my blood under the microscope together. And we saw that there was more free floating red blood cells compared to last time, where it was like clumped up in like a caterpillar looking form. And she said that it means that more iron and oxygen is transported throughout my blood, throughout my body. And apparently that also means that there's less inflammation in the gut. So that's a really good sign. And she saw less of the oxidized red blood cells, the spiky looking ones, but there was still some there. So she said that it's gone from severe to mild, and it means that I'm absorbing more antioxidants from food. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I mentioned how the center of the red blood cells were a bit purplish almost. And I think in the last video I said that I couldn't remember what they meant, but I asked her and she said that that was indicative of how my blood sugar levels were going up and down, and it was like inconsistent, meaning I used to have spikes of my blood sugar levels rising. So there's less of the purplish looking center and more of the misty centers in the red blood cells. So my blood sugar levels are pretty consistent and they don't spike up a lot. That's probably thanks to switching sugar to monk fruit sweetener, because I haven't been having any added sugar that I would put in. And you know, like if you see people going like sugar free for like a month and they see so many like improvements and like they say they feel different. So I think sugar is a massive thing. And the white blood cell count went up from 2 to 10. So how she counted that was she would look through like areas of my blood sample and count how many she would see with her own eyes. And yesterday she saw 10 in one area, 11 in another area, and 10 in the third. So it was like approx 10. So that was a big jump and I'm really happy with that. I asked her what specific things helped with increasing the white blood cell count, and she said it was zinc. So it's either I'm absorbing zinc effectively or I'm eating more zinc. And the red pseudocrystals that we saw last time, I think I mentioned that I forgot what they were like representing, but they were representing the leaky gut. There was less of it this time, but it was still there. So I've still got some healing to do on my gut lining. And the fungus, overgrowth that she mentioned, I asked her when we were doing the blood analysis, like how she mentioned that the black spots were fungus. And when I looked it up, because I was curious, it said that if I did have fungal overgrowth in my bloodstream, that I'd be seriously ill and I'd be in hospital. And she said what I see on the internet is conventional. Right, my battery died, but we have a new battery now. So I was saying, yeah, I asked her about the fungal overgrowth, and she said what I see on the internet would be like the conventional medicine approaches, because they dominate the healthcare system, and you know, they have different approaches to naturopathic approaches, and they just have like two different philosophies. So she said that since they can see a fungal growth in the actual sample with their own eyes, they believe that it is and that they need to treat it. So it's just like two different approaches, and it's completely up to the person to, you know, decide which way to go. But personally, I think just combining the two would be the best. You know, if I was feeling ill, I would go to the doctors and get medicinal help. But I'm not like fully, there's like two different things. So I'll take whatever I can from this side and just combine it to get the best outcome. So for the people that were commenting on my videos, they're not wrong, but they just don't have that naturopathic approach. I think that's just the difference. I'll keep seeing my naturopath because I've done a lot of work so far and I just want to keep doing it to see where it takes me. Like if I quit now, I wouldn't know what outcomes I would have if I were to keep going this pathway, because I've tried the conventional medicine way and for like 20 plus years and it didn't work. So like it worked in the short run but not in the long run. So yeah, for the people that commented that, I totally get where you're coming from, but I'm open to try this approach this time. I'm not against conventional medicine as well. I just need a good balance between those two. Since we're talking in a naturopathic point of view now, I'm just going to keep going with that, and yeah, let me know if you guys have any thoughts. So, where was I? I asked her what the type of fungus she was seeing, and she said there was spirochete. And the type she saw last time was different, and they were called aspergillus. I'll write that down here. There were less of it, but they were still there, and she also saw white spots, and there were yeast. So I've got the fungus and the yeast growing, and if you know anything about them, you need to tackle it all at once if you want to get rid of them, because if you get rid of half of them, the other half of the fungus and the yeast that's left will keep spreading. So there's no point in getting rid of some and not working on the whole thing as a group. So that's what these are for, the one that I have to put up my butt. I used to take the liquid version like in drops in my drink of water, but since there was still fungus and yeast present in the blood analysis, she gave me this, and also the I should have brought it. This is to target the yeast, and this is to target the fungus. Taking these two together will like fully target them and get rid of them. But yeah, I have to take this once a day before bed. I'll show you what they look like if you're interested. They come in like these packets, and I have to like rip them open, take the inside of this. It's in like a waxy form. So, but they're quite big. Anyway, I won't go into too much detail, but I just have to take it every night. Yeah, with the fingers, I asked her like what they could be, and she said that she can't really diagnose it because there's just like, yeah, so she said she can't diagnose it because there's just like so many different factors and there's like different possible causes for this, and she's not a doctor, so she can't diagnose me. But one thing she could say is that since this is fluid retention, my body is like holding on to fluid, and to get rid of that, I just have to drink more water so that my body knows that there's more fluid coming in my body. And apparently with fluid retention, if you don't have enough water, your body thinks it's not getting enough, and like it doesn't know when the next lot of fluid is coming in, so they hold on to the fluid that they have already in their body. So yeah, she just told me to drink more water and aim for 2 liters per day, because I'm currently drinking like 1 liter, maybe just over 1 liter. So that's what I'm gonna do. But if they get worse, I'm just gonna go to the GP. But last time I had this, I went to the GP and they gave me antibiotics, and that didn't do anything. So it's not a bacterial infection. And that time when I was on antibiotics, I ended up having this ice cream and I had a full-on allergic reaction. And I usually don't get that bad of a reaction from ice cream. it's just like a tiny bit of, you know, like tingling on my tongue or my lips. But since my gut microbiome was wiped out because of antibiotics, I just didn't have that immune system to fight off whatever it was. And yeah, my face, my whole body actually went through that allergic reaction, and it was really, really bad. My eyes were swollen, my lips were swollen. Yeah, it was like the worst experience ever, and it didn't do anything on my fingers. And you know how I mentioned that I wanted to ask her about what deficiencies she saw on my tongue and my nails? I completely forgot to ask her about that. So let me just Google and see if it comes up. I'm just trying to access a journal article. Okay, this is hard to see. Anyways, I don't know, I can't find it. I'll ask her in my next session. I'm going back in 3 weeks because I'm going to Japan after that, and if I leave it till after I come back, it's gonna be like 8 weeks or 9 weeks, and my supplements won't last that long. And if I stop taking it, all the work that I've done with the supplements will kind of go to waste, because I'll have like a few weeks of not taking any, and if I go back to see her and do the blood analysis, we won't see the same results as if we would have done it whilst I'm on the supplements. I thought it'd be better if I go a bit early than late, so I'm gonna go back in 3 weeks. So I'll ask her then. And also I had a couple of questions around my diet and what things I can eat. And the question that I wanted to ask the most was that, what is it about cheese and eggs that makes it not good for me to consume? And she said that like animal products, especially like dairy and eggs, they're in an acidic state. So eating them will make my body more acidic. And the aim for me is to alkalize my body to bring my pH up to around 6.9, I think she said. And that's because all the fungal growth and, you know, the unfavorable pathogens, they thrive in an acidic state. So if I bring my pH up to an alkalized state, they won't happily be living there. So the more acidic food I eat, the more acidic my body gets, and the more favorable it becomes for these pathogens and like fungal and all that sort of thing to thrive in. So she said that's the reason why I have to cut them out. So I'm thinking if I, you know, tackle all my fungal growth with the supplements and the food, and I get rid of them all, maybe like having like cheese and eggs once in a while won't hurt me. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. I actually went over time because I was asking so many questions, and there was another guy waiting for his appointment after mine, so we had to wrap it up. But I'm hoping that I'll actually see improvements in my skin, because it's hard to imagine myself with clear skin without any medication like Dupixent, because I've just had like eczema and then TSW for so long. It's like my whole life that I can't imagine having clear skin, like completely healed skin. A part of me is kind of like not doubting, but you know, having like thoughts around, will this diet change and like all these supplements really heal my skin? Like, will I really be able to come off Dupixent and live my life with clear skin? A part of me is like, is that even possible? Because I've just had it for so long. But now that I've started my naturopath journey, I want to stick to it, because if I stop now and, you know, have a period of time where I don't do anything and then, you know, decide to go back to it, that inconsistency will reflect on my body and it just won't heal. So I think if you decide to do it, you just got to keep doing it and just do it full on. Otherwise, you're just going to waste your time and money and effort. So now that I've started, I'm just going to keep running. I think the most difficult part for me is financially keeping up with all of this. The actual session fee, but also the supplements as well. It's like hundreds of dollars, and since I'm a full-time student, we only have my partner's income, and I know people like work on top of their full-time studies, but I don't know if I have like low capacity or something, but studying takes a lot of my time and it's hard to keep up with all 4 units and all these assignments, and if I had work on top of that, I don't know how I'll survive. But since there's so many expenses especially with the naturopath, I'm gonna pick up some casual work, but I'm just like worried if I can handle and manage all of that and keep my grades up. So I'm back again because I realized that I was editing the videos and I realized that I didn't cover some of the questions which I mentioned in the first part of the video. I went through them all with her, but I didn't cover them with you guys. So the rashes on my face and neck after sweating and swimming in the ocean, and also the like pinkish red undertone I have on my face constantly without makeup. And she said both of those are linked to my gut, so I just need to heal my gut in order to heal that, basically. And also in terms of the rashes that I get after sweating and also being in the ocean, she said maybe I'm like consuming some allergens that I may have or intolerances, and that it may be getting triggered by the sweating and the ocean, but I'm not so sure about that, because why would it come up then and not when I had consumed the allergen? But anyways, I don't know, like all the questions that I have gone through with her, she kind of only had a vague answer, and I don't know what I was expecting. Like, I don't know what I wanted to hear, but I just have so many questions and I just want to understand my body. So they might have been big questions that don't have like straight answers for. I know our bodies are not so simple, but I just had so many questions and I feel like I bombarded her with all these questions, so she only had vague ones. But I just want to understand my body, and only getting those like vague answers, like I know that I have to heal the inside of my body to get clear skin, but I kind of wanted to hear the specifics and the mechanism behind how that directly impacts my skin. But I guess it's probably hard to find people that can actually answer those questions. So yeah, I don't know. Another thing I wanted to go through with you guys are the supplements and what they were for. So this, which I mentioned before, helps with lymphatic drainage and helps move my lymph around my body, and it helps get rid of waste and assist in detoxification. And this, which I have to take with this, supports the liver and the gut. And you know how I told you guys that this needs to go up my bum? The reason for that is because it directly targets the fungal growth in my gut. It's very common in people with eczema that you have unfavorable bacteria and like fungal growth in your gut. So that targets it directly rather than having it through the other way. I've been having this water which has both of these in since the morning, and it's 4 o'clock right now and I've been feeling fine. So that's really good because I felt really sick. Well, not really sick, but I felt kind of nauseous from it yesterday. Okay, that was everything I wanted to cover. Okay, that was my update on my second naturopath visit. I hope you guys liked it. Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.